Hey folks, Mr. Dell here. We are looking at evaluating expressions. Okay, so this is a problem that is from CPM, and it's course 3 CC3, and this is 2.1.9, section 2.1.9, specifically number 2-89. So when this word evaluate, okay, evaluate, and when this word in context of evaluating expressions is basically taking this algebraic expression and plugging in these values for these variables. They'll give you the value for the variable, you plug it in and basically do order of operations. So that's the process, right? So evaluating expressions and using order of operations is what we're doing. So what remember this 2 and x, when you have a number in front of a variable, that's called a coefficient. That number is the coefficient, and what it's doing, the operation, is multiplication. That means 2 times x, and then we say plus, that means 3 times y, and then plus z. So that's what I have here. So that being said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in each of those numbers into those variables and then do the math. So this is 2 times, and then for x, it tells me to use -2. So 2 times -2. And multiplication, I'm using parentheses. You can use the dot. You can use parentheses to show multiplication. And then plus 3 times, and instead of the y, I'm going to put a -3. That's what goes in place. And then plus z, which is 5. So now I've got numbers that I need to do operations, and you do order of operations. So order of operations, remember, you multiply before you add. So I'm going to go 2 times -2 is the first one, and that becomes -4, plus, and then 3 times -3 is -9, plus 5. Now all I have is addition, so I just add straight across. So I have -4 and -9 is -13, and then plus 5. So -13 plus 5, remember, opposite signs, a negative and a positive. When you're adding, you actually subtract. We get 8. 13 minus 5 is 8, but we look to see there's more negatives, so the answer is -8. Okay, so that's evaluating an expression. So let's quickly go through these again. So this is x. Now we have x minus y. So it's -2 minus -3. So I put a -2 in for the x, -3 in for the y. So -2 minus -3. Well, when you minus a negative, it's a double negative. It's actually adding is what we have, right? So it's a double negative. It's as if I said, today I am not going to the store. Well, I am going because it was a not going. So it's a double negative. So it really is a positive. It's a plus. So here I have -2 plus 3. And again, opposite signs. So I subtract them. I get 1, and there's more positives. So it stays +1. Okay. Here we have, this looks like x plus y all over z is what that says. So it's 2 times that. So it's 2 times x, which is -2, plus y, which is -3. And all of that's being divided by z, which is 5. Okay. Order of operations, I take care of what's inside the parentheses. And when you have addition with division, you actually want to get one number, make that into a single fraction first before you do the division. So what we have is 2 times, that's -2 plus -3 is -5. So now I have 2 times -5 divided by 5. Well, -5 divided by 5 is -1. So 2 times -1 is -2 is my final answer for that one. Okay. Keep cruising here. D. D is a little tricky because D, you have this 3x squared. What does that mean? That means 3 times x times x. The squared tells you that you're going to take that x and multiply by itself twice. It does not affect the 3, just the x. And then we have -2 times x plus 1. So that's the expanded form of that expression. And if I plug in the numbers, again, all of these values, so it's going to be 3 times -2 times -2, right? Because it's x is -2, minus 2 times -2, then plus 1. Okay. So this order of operations, I have multiplication, then subtraction, addition. So let's do the multiplication first. 3 times -2 is -6. Times -2 again becomes 12. So I have 12 minus, I have 2 times -2, which is a -4. right? 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. So I have 12 minus negative 4 plus 1. Okay, so now I've got to continue on. Now I can go straight across. 12 minus negative. Once again, it's another double negative. That really means 12 plus 4 plus 1. So 12 plus 4 plus 1 is equal to 17. So there's my answer for D. E, they're getting a little tougher here. E, this means 3 times y, and all of that in times, using parentheses, x plus x times x squared, minus y, right? So this is my expanded form of that expression. So now I'll plug in my numbers. X, remember, is negative 2, y is negative 3. So I have 3 times negative 3, okay? Then all of that times, well, that's a negative 2 is what the x is, plus, and I have a negative 2 times negative 2, minus my y is negative 3. Let's see if I can squeeze that in there, minus negative 3. Okay, so order of operations, we first take care of what's inside this big set of parentheses. So all of this means multiplication, right? 3 times that times that. So I got to get one number in here first. And in here I have some multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So I'm going to do the multiplication first. Negative 2 times negative 2 is a 4. So inside this big set of parentheses, now I have negative 2 plus 4 minus 3. So negative 2 plus 4, that's 2, right? And then 2 minus 3 is negative 1. So now I've got a single number inside that set of parentheses. I'll bring back down my other multiplication, which is 3 times negative 1, which is negative 9 times negative 1 makes it positive 9, right? Negative makes it a positive. Okay, last one. I believe this says negative z squared, and then parentheses 1 minus 2x, and then all of that's divided by y minus x. Okay, so first of all, negative z squared, that's a little tricky. So negative z squared, the z is what's being squared, so really this means negative. It's a coefficient of 1. Whenever there's no number listed, it's actually a coefficient of 1. So it's negative 1 times z, okay, and then parentheses 1 minus 2 times x, okay, and then all of that is divided by y minus x. So we got to plug all the numbers in for that. So again, here's my numbers, right? So it's negative 1 times, and then z is 5, so 5 times 5, and then all that times 1 minus, let's see, what do we have? 1 minus 2 times my x is negative 2. So let's see, times negative 2, okay? And then all that's divided by negative 3, y is negative 3, minus x is negative 2. Ooh, that one's an ugly one. Okay. So let me continue on this one. I might need some space here, so I'm just going to do this little cheat for the camera. All right, so I'm going to continue this. So what we've got to do what's inside that set of parentheses first. And then each top and bottom, I've got to get one number before I can divide. So make that all one number, make that all one number. So inside the parentheses, I have 1 minus 2 times negative 2. So really inside that parentheses is 1 minus negative 4, right? So it's 1 minus negative 4, because that's 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. And 1 minus negative 4, remember that becomes plus, so that's 5. So in that set of parentheses is 5. So now I have a negative 1 times 5 times 5 times 5. That's what's going to be on top of the fraction. Okay. And then on, making more room here. And then let's see, on the bottom, let's see, let me finish getting my single number on top. So on top, negative 1 times 5 times 5 times 5 is negative 125. Okay. On the bottom, we've got this negative 3 minus negative 2. Remember, that means negative 3 plus 2. When you have a minus a negative, positive. So that's a negative 1. So really, it's negative 125 divided by negative 1. So the final answer would be positive 125. All right. I hope that helps.